Hello, wonderful people. Welcome back to my channel. Today we will be exploring the famous St. George Church and the dark tunnel which symbolize hell.
Those are two cool houses made from by wood, mud, stone and straw. Those are two stories also. They have two stories, first and second story. So these are type of Lalibela, typically Lalibela and tukul houses. So those are also very, very old tukuls.
So they're studying
They are studying to be a deacon, not Amharic. Ge'ez. Ge'ez, the old language of Ethiopia. Amharic is the national language. They do speak Amharic, but this is the old language of Ethiopia, only Ge'ez. So they are learning to be a deacon. So he's the one who painted those are the laser paintings.
Oh.
These are the laser painting, goat skin. So he's the one who painted and who.
Alright, so I am on my way to
St. George.
St. George.
Yeah.
Going to see the church over there too. And this is the village of Lalibela, right?
Yeah.
Hello guys, so we're still on our way to go see St. George, the most famous church of Lalibela. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. Share, comment below. Let me know if you ever visit Ethiopia and Lalibela, to be precise. Please keep watching for more interesting history of this famous church.
The church of St. George. So this is 15-meter high Greek cross. It's a cross shape. So you can see on the top,
size.
the same size. It's 50-meter high, 15. So you can see on the top of the church there are three crosses, which symbolize the Trinity. The church is a bit inclined on the right side. You can see the spout and the gutters. So that's why they don't put a shelter here, because the water will not stop on top, so it just goes underway. So you can see the gutters and the spout on the three sides of the churches. It's just a bit inclined. So the church is exactly northeast. Exactly. So this is the church of the third group church called St. George, and symbolized by Noah's Ark, Ark of Noah. So we'll see every representation of the Noah's Ark when we go inside the church. But this is the most beautiful and famous one. And also this is the last project of St. George. I mean King Lalibela. St. George is the last projection, and this is the younger one, the youngest one. The youngest, the beautiful, the most beautiful, and the famous one.
Yeah.
So if you will just stand there, I'll take a picture with. This is the tunnel to St. George, the way to St. George. So this is the only one.
So we are in the tunnel to St. George.
The tunnel to St. George. This is not a dark tunnel, but there are also dark tunnels. So this is just tunnel for the path to St. George.
You don't take your shoe off here?
We'll go.
Okay.
We'll go. So this is the chanting room. The chanting, because the church is not too big for the chanting room, for the Holy of Holies indicated, so the chanting room is outside the church.
Okay.
So you can see those are the 300 years old mummified bodies. Those are the real human bodies.
Oh, really?
Yeah, those are mummified bodies. So these are people who came from Syria and Jerusalem to see the Holy Land of Lalibela. So when they visit here, they thought that it was a very holy city and we can die here. So they die here, and those are still the mummified bodies. So there are thousands of mummified bodies also in the church of Yimrana Christos, which is far from Lalibela, 42 kilometers.
Okay.
So I told you this church, or the third group churches of St. George, is symbolized the Ark of Noah. So Noah's Ark has three stories. The first one for storage, the second one for the animals, and the third one is for the families. So first Noah sent a crow to check if the flood were stopped, but the crow didn't return. So next he sent a pigeon. So the pigeon has brought a branch of leaves, olive leaves. So that's where Noah knows the flood were stopped. So this is the rainbow.
Oh, this is a rainbow.
The rainbow design. God
Okay.
promised for Noah that he will not penalize the world again. So he showed his promise by the rainbow. And this is the church on the top of the church, you can see the windows are open because of the famines. But the windows of the church are they're closed and not able. Because of the water, because of the flood for the animals and for storage, the windows were closed. So that's why they want to represent this. The windows on the top are open and on the lower are just closed. And also you can see that there's a grass which also the pigeon brought to show that the flood was stopped. And also there's a place called Mount Ararat where Noah landed last. That's the border of Armenia and Turkey, Mount Ararat. That's the place where Noah landed at last after the flood.
Okay.
So this is the symbolism of Mount Ararat. This one, that's the blood. That's the place where Noah landed last. Is this Mount Ararat is in the border of Armenia and Turkey. So you can see the church has cross shape, 15-meter high Greek cross. Equal design, equal shape, equal size. That's also with that. You can see that the water conservation. This water as a water conservation system, and also used as a holy water. The unique feature of this church is when you see the wall, it increased downward. When you see on the top, it looks very small, but when it gets down lower,
it gets
it's
bigger.
So it increases downward. So you can see there are 7 steps which symbolize the 7 divisions of heavens.
7 division of heaven?
Heavens, yeah.
Okay.
Those 7 steps are also symbolize the 7 divisions of heaven. You can see the 3-1, step 1, that's also symbolize the 3 Trinity. So you can see always the churches are east-west oriented. This church also east-west oriented. The Holy of Holies is in the east direction. So west, north, and south is the entrance for the churches. So mainly we use the main entrance to the church, but on the right side mainly the female use this one, the south one, and that are the north ones male uses. So this is the Church of St. George, which is the inside part of the church. So as this is the only church which is cross-shaped on side and outside. So it looks very big outside, but when you go inside, it's not very small, but it's a small church. But this is the only church without pillars. No existed pillars inside the church. So those are 3-sided pilasters, we call them. 3-sided pilasters. And you can see this is also the second church which has a big cross on the ceiling. So one which we see in Beta Mikhail, Beta Danagl, Beta Golgotha and Debrecen. This is the first one in Beta Meskel. And this is the third one which we will see the big cross on the ceiling. So here you will see also two boxes, two 800 years old boxes. There is one here and also this one. This one is a bit different because when you open and close, you just use the corkscrew, the wood one. So you have to move it to the right when you close and to the left when you open. So this was used as, so King Lalibela used to store his carving materials before in this box. But now the treasure of the churches are closed, just right here. So now we use the Chinese padlock. As I told you, those are the corkscrew, the wood, to open and to close this. So those are 800 years old boxes and made from olive tree. We do have olive trees. So olive trees are very strong and last long. This is the same box, which is the same years old boxes, but different design one that has a corkscrew, but this one doesn't have a corkscrew. So this one is the 500 years old Saint George killing the dragon. So you may know the story of this Saint George. So there were people who believed by the dragon before. So once upon a time, so Saint George has passed through that place, and they said every year they just sacrifice their children, one of their children for this dragon. So the villagers or the people who live there, they just finished a children and they don't have anyone to sacrifice. So they decided to sacrifice the king's daughters. So lastly, during that time, the Saint George was passed away, and they saw the daughter was cried, and she asked her what happened. So she told him that the people are just have a tradition sacrifice people or children every year for the dragon. So this is the time for me to be sacrificed for the dragon. So and they believe the dragon. So if they don't sacrifice, so they will kill everyone. She said. So he said that I will kill this dragon and the people or the villagers who live here. So you have to start believing in Jesus or in God. So he promised for them, and when the dragon comes, he kills this dragon and saves the kid just right here. So she's the one, the king's daughter, who were tied for sacrifice. So that's how the Saint George killing the dragon saved the daughter of the village. King. So this is the new one. This is the new one, same design, but it's the new one. But this one's 500 years old, and this one is it might be changed or more than 30 years old. So you can see still those are the doors are still original one and very old one. You can see still they are using the old system. Just right here. So this is one of the most famous and beautiful churches all over Lalibela. Beautiful dome shape there. So as I told you, behind the curtain is the Holy of Holies, where is the place of the Ark of the Covenant. So there's a tablet in every church. That's the Republic of the Ark. The copy of the Ark is kept behind the curtain. Welcome to ask me, so I'll try to answer as much as I can. If you have any questions, or if you have any suggestion, if I am too fast when we tour or when we work, you could just say something, or if you are happy.
So the following day was St. George's Day, so we went to the Mass. So here we are experiencing the St. George Day's Mass. And this is what we will be seeing.
Yeah, that's Beta Gabriel and Raphael. So some of the boxes which is hidden inside, which is kept inside the church. The design of Saint George, we will try to see that one. Also, we'll see the water or the cistern, the water conservation.
Oh, okay.
And we'll see also that's the design of the windows. But this is one of the churches called Beta Raphael and Gabriel.
Okay.
So you can see the water here. We use it as a water conservation system. So during in
Rainy season?
during the rain season, it comes, I mean, lots in conserves. I mean, it was well before. I mean, they were used as a water conservation because when there's no any water, so you can use this water for other, not for drinking, but you can use for the other purposes.
Yeah.
So these are the old those trees.
This tree?
These are very old trees, juniper trees,
Jubia.
juniper. The one which is made for gin, you know the drink gin.
Gin,
It's made from this. This is even this one is not the original one. This is the one which is built now. I mean recently, as this like a bridge one.
Yeah.
This church still is hidden, and no one knows the exact entrance to the church.
Oh.
We are just using this one, but because of the main entrance to this second group churches, also we'll see on the other side.
Oh, okay. So this is just a new entrance that they created to make it easier. Okay.
So you can see this block of stone. This is the narrow path. So we called it the path to heaven or the way to heaven. It's very small and very nighty, so which is difficult to go from this to the upper. So the tradition or we Ethiopian, we believe that if you walk just starting from until the top, it means you don't have any sins and you will go to straight to heaven. So that's why we call it the path to heaven or the way to heaven. ጆን ይያለ ሁለቱንም የቪዲዮን እንትኑንም አሳያለሁ። ደህና ነው። So this is the church of Gabriel and Raphael. This is the first church in the second group. So people mostly we try. I mean, we start our tour here, Gabriel and Raphael. So, but as you see in the morning, the one with the twin church, there's only one entrance for both churches.
Yeah.
So we call them twins. This one Beta Gabriel, and the right side we will see that's Raphael church. So this one, if you can see, the longest church because it has three parts. The first one, the cistern. The second one is the block of stones, and the third one is the church.
Okay.
That's only where the church is. This church is different from the others because it's not east-west oriented. In the other churches, the Holy of Holies is in the east direction, but in this case, the Holy of Holies is not in the east direction. It's
that?
like in the north direction.
No.
Yeah,
Okay.
because it's the main transit this one. The Holy of Holies just the Holy of Holies on the other side. We'll see it when we see. So you can see the cistern or the water down there also. This is the two holes. So there's underneath water.
Like a well?
Like a well. So I mean, some scholars say that because they found a shackle or some metal, and it was used as like a treasury room. Because those are those scholars which they found, and they said it was used as also a treasury. Even because of this church, this church is not. They think that even this church is not east-west oriented, because when King Lalibela carved out, he mentioned even not as a church, because even they used as the private palace of the church for the King Lalibela. So because of that's why the reason it's not east-west oriented, but mostly the churches are east-west oriented, and also there are some also scholars who say that this was like as a civic or civil. Mostly when people do something bad, so they'll go to prison.
Oh, okay.
So even there are some scholars who say that this church was used as a civic purposes. But when you see the facade, the church is only beautiful, or the unique feature is when you see this facade is very beautiful, and the window designs. When you go inside the church, we can see more different or more beautiful things, which is not different from the others. So we'll go see the churches, and we'll be on top there to to see also these parts. As I told you, this is the only church which has no entrance. Still, it's hidden. It's a mystery for everyone. No one will tell you that this is the entrance. So still, we are just using the man-made entrance, and no one knows the real or the which is original entrance is. Still, it's still hidden. So people that's why the archaeologists are just digging and they're just finding. So they may get something new, which is maybe they may think get the way to the church.
Maybe they can find the entrance to the church, right?
Yeah, who knows? Wait. As you see, this is the bridge which we are using now. This is not original. During King Lalibela time, or before, like 500, 600 years ago, the bridge was wooden bridge. So at the daytime, they can walk and they use the bridge, but at night, they remove to the other side. So they can keep themselves from other bad people.
Yeah.
So because they cannot walk and they cannot go in. So you can see how it's deep and how it's tall. So students searching from down to the top, I can say this is only the tallest church, the longest church in Lalibela compared to the other. But this, as I told you, it has 3 stories.
This one?
Yeah, it has 3 stories. We are in the third now, in the third floor, I can say, because the first one I told you that's the cistern. The second one, the block of stones, which I will show you when we go inside. There is a hole, but there isn't any way to go in. But I will show you. You will just hear it. That's the second story, and the third one this is the church.
Okay.
This is the Gabriel and Raphael. So this is the church of the inside part of Gabriel Church. Those paintings, those are canvas on oil paintings. This is Mary with Jesus Christ, and that one Saint Gabriel. We say saint because of we say in America those are the Archangel Gabriel and Michael. We say have to say Archangel Gabriel. So when we say it's not east-west oriented, if you see this one is behind the curtain in the Holy of Holy. So it's not in the east direction. To be east, it must be in this direction.
Yeah.
So that's why we say it's not east-west oriented, and this is the only church which is not east-west oriented.
Okay.
But as you said, you can just review. So you can see the difference. Do you see? When you chop this one and when you do this one, this is the hole. I mean the way to. It's the second stories, but you can hear it the difference. Here there's something. There's nothing, but here there's a hole here.
So the
Second stories.
so
down
there's
there.
there is a whole building down there.
Down there, that's we say the second story. This is the third one. We are in the church and we are in the third one. That's the second story. But I cannot assure you that because no one have been there inside.
Oh.
That's why it's closed. But this is the third one, and that one the second one, and the first one is the cistern, which we have seen outside down the well.
Oh, okay. So
the reason why because we chopped it and we can hear the voice, how it's different because this hole can take you down there, but no one have tried to enter inside. Even it's not allowed. I mean, because we really don't know what is inside here. That's why the church is not allowed to go someone inside there. But there is a hole, and that's the second story. That's why we just chop it, and you can hear it's the difference or the hole. So you can see some of the just right here. There was some cracks, but was restored like by the US, by the help of the US aid. As I told you, I mean, when you see most of some of the churches, when you see inside, I mean, they are not like most beautiful like the Church of Beta Medhanialam or Saint Mary. Mary is the first one and the first most decorative churches. But when you see outside this church, the facade, the windows are very beautiful.
yeah.
So this is just the balcony of the king.
Okay.
So it's just like the balcony. I told you this is where the Church of Gabriel and Raphael, and as I told some scholars believe that this church was not as it's a church. So if it was like the palace of like King Lalibela, so it was like he used as a balcony. And also some of, as I told you, they said this was used as a civic purpose. So when the king gives judgment, just sitting right here. So whether you go on the top or in the other direction, whether in this side, still this church is hidden. The mystery church, a mystery church. No one knows the entrance.
The entrance, okay.
I'm 100% sure there will be
There will be
main
an entrance
but still
somewhere.
somewhere, but
Maybe it's hidden in the
in the
mountains.
mountains that might be. That's also the first purpose where those archaeologists are digging. So they may get it, and we'll be very happy when see they get it, and if they show us the main entrance, so we can tell for the tourists and for the other people.
You made it. Oh, so when it rains, you can come here because you could fall, right?
Yeah, it's very hard. But I mean, once you came here, you have to see everything. That's why I take you everywhere, and I have to see. So there is, you can see those are caves. As I told you, they were used as a graveyard during that time, but not now. I mean, mostly during, I mean, even before 300, 200 years ago, there were people or nuns, monks who lived here for praying. But now it's clean because this church has become a World Heritage Site, and it's very hard to keep someone inside.
Yeah, you can bury someone in there now because tourists are coming every day. Oh, you don't want to see a body.
So as I said before, this was used as a Bethlehem. So you can see the windows, the small windows. These windows are for the smoke. So when you prepare the Holy Communion, like the bread and the wine here, so you need windows for smoke to go out.
Yeah.
So that's why it was like a storage one. So the storage, so you can see how it's because of the molting, the black, because of the water, and also the one which is from the smoke.
Yeah, from the smoke.
So, but this one not active anymore. It's not active. We just came in to show for the tourists. And this is the way to the dark tunnel.
This way?
This is the way to the dark tunnel. The dark tunnel is 50 meters, 50. But if we continue the dark tunnel, the end will be inside the Church of Emmanuel. So now we'll just walk 15 meters, 15, and the remaining is closed. You cannot go further because once you go there, you will go inside the church, the Emmanuel Church. So it's very hard. I mean, people.
Emmanuel Church is which one?
We'll go and see it. First, we have to see Mercurius, Saint Mercurius, and then we'll go to Emmanuel Church. So now I'll just turn off the light, and we'll just use the right side of the dark tunnel.
You're not gonna use the light?
I can use the light.
Why?
I can use, but I want to show you how it's
Dark.
very dark and why the reason we say it symbolizes hell. That's why.
So we're using which side you said again?
I say your right side.
Right side.
Yeah, and even you can put your video camera on the back because in some area the ceiling goes down, so you have to mind your head.
Now let me turn this off.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is like the literal meaning.
Yeah, the light after dark. As I told you, the dark tunnel continues 50 meters, but we are not able to go further because they just closed it. So I'll show you the end when we go to the Church of Emmanuel.
Okay. We just came from that dark hole. It's like hell, and now we're in heaven, I believe.
أسلمت. Just bless it. Yeah.
Oh.
This is the church called Saint Markorios. So this was also the second biggest church next to Beta Madhanayanam. But it was damaged, and even it was suspended, used as a church before. But after 1989, we used, after replacing these churches, we used as a church and still active. So you can see this wall is not the original one. You can see.
Yeah.
Those are the pillars one. Those are the original
pillars.
And the church was like just until here. And it was like the biggest churches. Now the walls are not original, but you can see the pillars are the original one. So you can see the more thing. Because of the ceiling was tiny, that's why it was destroyed. And we're not able to, stay strong. So that's why it's collapsed, and they just restored these churches. So this is Saint Markorios. You can see also this is a big stone. It has different voices. Before, used like a bed, a stone bed. So before we used this stone bed as a bed. So when they start the mass, they ring this bell. But now there is a metal bell, so we use that one. So you can see, as you see it, the walls are not original, only the pillars are the original. So you can see how it was, like you can see those are the pillars are still the original. The walls are not original. This is the entrance for the women, but the main entrance to the other side. But even the women can enter to inside the church in that side, but most of the time they use this one. As I told you, every church is connected by tunnel in the dark tunnel. But some of the dark tunnels are hidden. Even there are tunnels which we didn't know. But even from the first group church to the second, from the second to the third, there is some of our ancestors, they said there are dark tunnels which connected every church in every group. But we don't know some of the dark tunnels.
So you think there's a possibility there's a dark tunnel that will connect this to
the other group?
The other group?
Yeah.
So guys, here we are on our way to go see Emmanuel's church. And if you guys remember, he said the dark tunnels leads to Emmanuel's church, and that's the entrance if you go to Emmanuel's.
From the others, because it touched the main roof and on the wall, on the ground.
Yeah.
But you can go around and see the churches. So you can see also some of the different type of crosses, and also there are false windows also on the top, but you can see the Greek cross window shape on the lower one. Yeah. On the right side, even you will see some of the restored church. They were restored, but in the left side, that's the original one. Okay. So this is also the church looks like a priest, an Ethiopian priest carrying the tablet in his head. Oh. It looks better. I'll try to show you, but as I told you, during Epiphany time, the Ark of the Covenant, the copy of the Ark, is moved from the church to the place where they spend 2 nights. So during that time, the priest will carry the tablet or the Ark of the Covenant.
Emmanuel's church symbolizes Ethiopian priests. If you look at the building is carrying a rock. So this is how the priests dress. Okay, so the body of the priest is the building itself, and the turban on his head is the rock.